7Artisans launched their first autofocus lens towards the end of 2023, introducing a full-frame autofocus 50mm f1.8 lens. This lens has metal contacts. It supports face recognition and AXIF information. It is made with a metal exterior and offers a smooth, non-clicked aperture adjustment. The build quality is very solid. But upon opening the package of this lens, I was surprised by its size and weight. It weighs 420 grams and it looks very bulky on my A7C II. So unless it has extraordinary optical performance, I might find it a little bit inconvenient for everyday use. Let's delve into some test photos. When the aperture is wide open, the background separation is beautifully rendered. The subject retains clear details, but there is some slight vignetting. As we step down, the overall image detail becomes sharper. I think at f5.6, it looks pretty good, and the vignetting in the corners reduces. There is an AF/MF switch on the lens body. For the autofocus to work, both the camera and the lens must be set to autofocus mode. But for manual focus, setting either the camera or the lens to manual focus is enough. The focus detection is quite swift. I set the camera AF transition speed to 5 and the shift sensitivity also to 5. And it looks pretty smooth. Even in low light conditions, it can identify faces accurately. So combined with its f1.8 large aperture, it's particularly suitable for nighttime photography. Although we can see some focus breathing, I think it is relatively minimal for a 50mm lens. When the lens is trying to focus, I noticed a faint motor sound from time to time, but it is not significant. When shooting wide open against bright light, there is some flaring. And after we step down to f4, it is still noticeable. If it bothers you, you can always use the lens hood that comes with the lens. And when you step down to about f8, we can see beautiful sunstar. Now, after a couple of weeks of testing, I think I'm pretty satisfied with the optical performance as well as the autofocus ability. But in terms of physical dimensions, I really find the lens too heavy for extended use. The weight of 420 grams becomes noticeable during prolonged shooting sessions, so it's less ideal for everyday carry. But if you take the price into consideration, then the weight might be a more acceptable trade-off. I have also tried the Sony 50mm f1.8 lens, which weighs only 189 grams. And although I haven't done a side-by-side test to compare their image quality, but I already found the Sony lens more portable, and I won't hesitate to bring it with me compared to the 7Artisans counterpart. I think portability is especially important for a 50mm lens because it's a standard focal length, so it might be the lens that I want to carry with me all the time. If the size and weight are too much of a burden, it would be difficult for me to accept it, even if the optical performance is great. Personally, I think this 7Artisans lens is not too heavy in terms of the full-frame lens, but quite heavy for a 50mm standard lens. It's got amazing performance, so if size and weight don't bother you, I would say it's got great value over price. So, how do you think? Do you think 420 grams is acceptable for a full-frame prime lens? Leave a comment below to let me know how you think. And thanks for watching. I will see you next time.